Welcome back to another Minecraft video. I know it's been a while, and that's because this video has some insane projects in it, so sit back and relax while we mine some obsidian at light speed. We are going to need a lot of obsidian in today's video, and that is because we are going to be draining an ocean monument. And then, you probably already know because I'm sure it's on the thumbnail of this video, but let me tell you everything I did anyways. I started out by making a 100 long circle around the ocean monument, if that makes any sense. So it's 100 blocks across, and then I started filling in sand. I also brought a cow with me just to get rid of the miner's fatigue anytime I would get it, and within about 2.5, maybe 3 hours, I had the entire ocean monument surrounded with a wall of sand. Now that I had this completely surrounded, I had to actually get into draining the ocean monument. I figured the easiest way to do this would be by getting sponges. Now, I had never actually got sponges in Minecraft before. I just assumed you were supposed to use a pickaxe. If you try this yourself, you should be using a hoe to get rid of these. It's way faster, I just didn't know that at the time. But before too long, I had the sponges I needed, and I started draining the inside of the ocean monument, hoping to find the Elder Guardians. I wanted to get rid of the Elder Guardians so that I could no longer have miner fatigue. And before too long, I found both of the Elder Guardians inside of this ocean monument. There can be up to 3 Elder Guardians in an ocean monument, but luckily mine only ended up having 2. Once those were taken care of, I started putting up more walls. The easiest way to drain an ocean monument, at least from what I've figured out, is making grids that are about 5 blocks on one side and 7 blocks on another side, and just making tons of boxes like that and then draining one box at a time. This allows you to place not too many sponges while draining it still effectively, and then once you've drained out one grid, you can go back through, get all the sponges, bring them to the nether to dry them out, and you just do that over and over and over again until the entire ocean monument is dried up. I went to a few other ocean monuments to hopefully get some more sponges. I went to actually just 2 others. One of them had quite a few sponges. I got up to almost an entire stack of sponges. Unfortunately, the other ocean monument didn't have a single sponge in it, which was super sad. And then it was just back to draining more and more. Obviously, I'm not going to show this because this is just hours and hours of me draining the ocean monument. I also don't have audio for a lot of this just because I like to watch YouTube videos while I'm doing kind of monotonous work like this. It's not really fun to just drain it for hours and hours without something else there to keep my mind on. But at least it was kind of satisfying parts of it, like taking down these walls, just watching all this sand fall onto the torches was pretty satisfying. Overall, I did enjoy doing this, it just took super long. Eventually, I decided that it would be good to get a wither. Not a wither actually, but another beacon, so I killed a wither. You can see its health bar going down at the top of the screen. Anytime that I killed a wither, I would just mine more obsidian. Originally, I wasn't planning to use obsidian in the build, but I had just been collecting obsidian because I know I want to do a build in the end someday. And so with how much obsidian I had, I figured it would be worth it just to throw in the extra flex and put some walls of obsidian up. So I started out with just 2 beacons, one for haste so I could break blocks faster, and then the other for strength or durability. I can't remember what that one's called. That's just because, as you can see, all of these guardians are trying to attack me while I'm putting up these walls. And I don't know if this is actually true, but I feel like the further I get into this project, it didn't actually change how many guardians would spawn. The same number of guardians would still spawn, just in a more concentrated area. And so I felt like it just kind of got harder and harder to complete as I went on. I don't have a great way of showing you guys progress because I didn't really think about it before. So I have this map, and then every once in a while I'll just show myself doing a flyover like this. And so you guys can kind of get an idea. Like I said, it would have been nice if I had a replay mod or something that could show a huge time lapse over time, but I just don't have anything like that installed, and I honestly don't really have the knowledge to do any of that. So I'll do the best I can in showing you guys progress. Like I said, just doing flyovers time to time so that you kind of get the idea. But that's kind of the best I got. One funny thing, this actually happened 2 or 3 times. While draining different boxes within the ocean monument, fish would start spinning around on the bottom of sponges, which I didn't even know was possible, but like I said, kind of funny. And yeah, it was just grids and grids for hours and hours upon end. Eventually I got more beacons just for speed and jump because I could. And I eventually also flattened out the rest of this monument. So I was getting close. I had about 1/4 of the monument at this time. And the last fourth actually went by super fast because I put in all of the grids before I went down to try to dry them out. And so guardians weren't attacking me as much this time. At this point, the ocean monument's super done. I guess I can just skip to the part where it shows where it's completely flattened out, because it's not completely flattened out in the back right. But here it is completely flattened out. And we're not even like halfway done with this. There's still so much to do, but as it is, it's looking pretty good. So the next goal was to dig out about 13 layers down from where we already were. Because if you've seen my old Minecraft series, then you've seen this kind of cool effect that you can do with glass. Now I'm doing it a little bit different than I've done in my past videos. In the past, I would do alternating colors of glass every other layer. Instead, I figured out if you just do the same color of glass, and it doesn't even have to be the same color, but if you just have air pockets in between, then you get this really cool fog effect. So the idea is that I'm going to be doing this across the entire floor down there, which I did the math. It's going to be over 10,000 blocks of stained glass. I don't remember the exact number, but over 10,000 blocks of stained glass. And then I also decided I'm going to replace all the walls with obsidian. So that's also going to be over 10,000 blocks of obsidian. You could see I had a cactus farm back there. The cactus farm is just so that I can get green dye for making the stained glass. And then I'll just use lapis for all of the blue dye. And this was my life for months. I eventually had to plant more cactuses just because I was running out of green dye too fast. But for weeks on end, I mean, I don't know about weeks, but hours and hours on end, it was just breaking cactuses, placing glass, breaking obsidian in the end, and then placing it here. And it was kind of a waste of time, maybe. If you guys want to support this, please by all means subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'm trying to revive my dead YouTube channel, and it's not working the best it could be, so hopefully I can have some success with that over the next few months. I did use this sand duper that I made in one of the last videos just for getting all of the glass, which was super nice. Anytime I came to the end and there wasn't enough sand in here, I would just go mine more obsidian, because I knew I would need more eventually. And I don't know, it was a process, but lots and lots of videos. I've watched so many videos on Minecraft, like Minecraft Anomalies. There's just some pretty good series. Watched some on Donkey Kong, Mario, just all sorts of videos, Clash Royale. I just like watching gaming videos while I'm gaming because it's just super peaceful, kind of lets me relax. And that's really all I have to say about it. At this point, I ran out of obsidian. I had tons of obsidian left over from mining it in my other videos, but at this point I was out of obsidian, and I kind of didn't really want to keep going. I was getting bored of it, which was a big problem. So that's one reason that this video has taken so long to come out. I actually took a month break from the game. Had I waited 4 more hours to get onto the server, it would have been exactly a month since I had played. So when I came back, happy ghasts were added to the game. Me and Christina got a cool screenshot with that. It was fun for about 5 minutes until I got right back into the groove of things, remembered where I was, and it was just back to laying more glass. Just laying glass, obsidian. It's just the entire thing again. But I mean, things were coming along and it was looking pretty good. I'll just keep showing little bits of progress over time. Here's the progress in the end. So far I've gotten rid of 5 out of the 10 obsidian pillars. Like I said, I have to get lapis for the blue dye. It's not too hard to find, it's just annoying because I kept underestimating how much I needed. And before too long I had all of the glass floor finished. Here it is, the glass is done, and I think it looks super good. You can also see that I went to some other ocean monuments to extend the walls of the ocean monument down into the glass, so it looks like it's a lot bigger than it is. I had to destroy a lot of blocks from other ocean monuments to get that effect. And then one thing I didn't talk about is there's actually a shipwreck that spawned right in the middle of this ocean monument. I don't know what the odds of a shipwreck spawning inside an ocean monument within like 200 blocks of spawn are, but it was really cool, so I think that's, I don't know, it's not like I was trying to find this seed. This was just, as you remember, we just picked a random seed, decided to start playing it right at world spawn. So for that being the challenge I decided on day 1 of the original, like first day of this series, I think we got really lucky with this seed. And then Once again, it's just hours and hours of obsidian breaking and laying, over 2 months of progress at this point, and I've zoomed through it in 10 minutes. So kind of sad. I realized that as I make more videos in the future, I should probably do smaller projects just so that I can get more videos out. So once again, if you like this, please subscribe, because this took an unreal amount of hours. The title of this video is Day 400, or 400 Days in Minecraft Survival. That's a complete lie. At this point in the video, we are now on day 653, and we're going to be at like day 850 by the end of this video, just because I don't want the video to only be 10 minutes. I got to make some more stuff. So if you like these videos, please subscribe, and with that, let's keep moving on. After I finish that, I decided to move on to some more exciting stuff. Now, you might say that terraforming isn't very exciting, but compared to mining obsidian for hours on end, breaking dirt and stone is like so easy. It's so much more exciting. It's almost instantly broken. And so this might not look exciting to you, but to me, I was like, oh, finally a break. And then I did some more terraforming, just flattening out the land. Eventually, this is going to kind of be like an island surrounded halfway by ocean and halfway by a river. That's the plan, at least. And so I had to flatten out some more land just so that we could build some more stuff here in the future. We won't build too much over here this video, but I will do at least 2 more big builds by the end of this video. So stay tuned while we get started on that. I dug a path just kind of because I like paths in my world. This is what it's looking like so far. Not exactly perfect, but I think as we add more buildings into the world, it's going to start looking better and better. I wasn't exactly sure actually what my next build would be, and so I went to the nether to poke a hole in the nether roof just for fun. I moved my portal up here. Eventually I'll probably just have the nether highway up there. And so eventually, actually before we get on to my next build, I also started on an artificial sky. I'm not doing a nether build at this time, I'm just preparing. And so while I waited to try to decide what my next build would be, I was just preparing stuff for a future video. So eventually I decided that we would build a barn. And me and Christina designed it by ourselves. I mean, we looked at a few other pictures from people, but overall it was just our design. I went to find a pale oak forest so we could use white wood. I looked up like a Minecraft circle generator just to get the curve of the roof. I had doubts basically the entire time building this. I was like, oh, this is not gonna look good. I made this chicken farm. I can't remember who I got this from, but I'll find it and I'll put the chicken farm link in the description just so that he has credit. I want to do better at giving credit whenever I use other people's farms. So I used his base design. I extended it to wrap all the way around, but like I said, this is not my farm idea. I'm not that good. And so if you want to follow the design, once again, I will put the link in the description. But I think it looks pretty good. Chickens just go all around and it automatically gives me chicken. I could have definitely made it better. I could make several spots where the chickens farm. I could make it way faster in getting chickens, but it's good enough for now. We don't need tons of food. We also don't really need totems of undying, but anytime these pillagers showed up, we kill them, because why not? I mean, we're just in survival. It's not hardcore, so totems of undying are way less valuable, but we'll get them anyways. I knew I wanted a window on the barn, but I wasn't exactly sure what I want it to look like. Eventually I decided on this pattern, which I think looks pretty good. And then at this point, all we have left for the barn itself is adding on the roof. And I'm super happy with how this turned out. I think it looks super good. Once I had that down, I decided that I wanted to put some silos next to the barn. And so once again, I just looked up a circle generator, just powered up a circle and then threw a roof on it. It was super easy. It's not like this is pro building. I went ahead and added a second silo next to it just because I thought it would look super good. And I do think it looks pretty good. I think this is definitely going to add a lot to like just the whole feel, environment. I don't really know what to call it. We added the path going up to the barn and there it is on the map so far. It's looking really good. I like it. And then we started planting plants all over the place. So Christina didn't actually help me with this part a ton because she started working on a windmill. Obviously, I don't really have a ton of access to what she was doing because we don't have it recorded. But I just worked on stuff like planting crops. I placed a bunch of torches exactly right so that mobs wouldn't spawn. And here's the windmill so far, just getting started, but about half of the plants that needed planted are there so far. I can go ahead and show it on the map as well. If you look There's still about all that area behind the barn, but on this side of the river still needs to be filled in. And then I ran to the nether. Haven't actually been here in a while. I was here for quite a while though, just collecting wither skeleton skulls. I got pretty lucky. I got 2 in that last clip, and then I got 3 right here for not even killing too many. As I've said in my past videos, I like to have a beacon for basically every single building. And so now that we had the barn, now that we were going to have a windmill, I was going to need some more beacons. And it also helps if you put your beacons at the very bottom of the world, just so that even if you're underground somewhere, you can still have the effects. Unfortunately, when I went to go get more wither skeleton skulls, I died. I don't really care. I got all my stuff back. I just lost like 80 levels. I had already lost like 15 levels just by renaming shulker boxes while organizing stuff. Anyways, I made out with a horse. I don't know why I put this in here. But basically, when Christina downloaded Lunar Client halfway through this video's making, we found out that horse stats were added to it. So you can now see the stats of your horse. And so through selective breeding, you can basically make a horse that runs 15 blocks a second. It can jump like 5.5 blocks high, and it can have 15 hearts. And so this made me super happy. I don't know why, but I spent like 5 hours just selectively breeding horses. It was a complete waste of time. Like, I don't need a horse. I have a Elytra. We have ice boats. They're not any faster. I just wanted a good horse. So through selective breeding and selective killing, we ended up getting some pretty good horses. In the end, I think I ended with like a 96% rating on a horse. I also decided I wanted a bigger diamond house. I didn't actually have diamonds to make it completely bigger than I needed it to be, so I went hunting for diamonds. And this was the most successful I've ever been on hunting diamonds. By the end of it, I ended up with 354 diamonds, so enough to make almost 90 diamond blocks, which is actually insane. And I ended up with this, which is a huge upgrade from the original diamond house that you saw there just a second ago. This is what it is now. I think it looks really good. The floor is not wood, but it's looking pretty good. And then I built the Fletcher Dome. I completely forgot to start the recording on this, but this is what I built. So it's obsidian. I had all the obsidian I needed. And then all of that dirt will be replaced with emeralds. I built this tripwire hook duper, which just drops tripwires from up in the sky into the middle of this dome. And I actually don't have a lot of this recorded, but it just gives me a ton of tripwire hooks. As you can see, I'm emptying my inventory just constantly, and they just keep filling up my inventory no matter how many times I throw them out. So once I had that, I just need to move some Fletchers into the dome. I think I stole 4 from the villager house. And once I had enough villagers, I started getting bread for them because I was going to need to breed, I believe, 65, 66, 67. I can't remember exactly how many. I think it was supposed to be 67 villagers, but I messed up somewhere. By the way, the windmill is now done. It looks super good. Yeah, I was supposed to have 67 villagers in here. It only ended up being 66 because I just did the build a little bit wrong, but there's not really a wrong way to do it. I mean, I made this up myself. It's just, it wasn't completely symmetrical, and I'm not sure where, and I'm not going to go back and fix it at this point because it's functional. I don't have tons of recording of this, as I was saying though, because a lot of this was done live on stream. As of recording this, those streams are still up. So if you want to go watch those, they're not super exciting. It's basically just the same thing over and over again. Me trading with villagers until they're at a master level. Once they get to the master level, that's when the tripwire hook trade unlocks. If they have the tripwire hook unlocked, then I move them into like a spot for them to stay. And if they don't have it, then I use a lava bucket to kill them, because there's really no point in me having them. And I can't kill them with a sword, otherwise the other villagers will get mad at me and iron golems will attack me. Eventually, I got it all figured out. Like I said, I kind of zoomed through that part because most of that part was done live on stream, and I've also done it in one of my past series. And I also added a few more beacons underneath the Fletcher Dome, and so I had to come back up here and edit the farms up here. But it was looking pretty good. All of this was functional. I think the ocean monument down there looks really good. I mean, just look at that. We can go ahead and wrap up the video now. I think that's about everything I have. So here we are at the end of the video. super happy with how this ocean monument turned out. Please subscribe. This took hours. I've played on this world for over 10 days, so over 250 hours I've spent on this world by now. It's like day 850, but we're gonna pretend it's day 400 just for the sake of naming these videos. Here's the Fletcher Dome. The floor looks good, the walls look good. Everything about this turned out super well in my opinion. I think it's super good, about 50% bigger than the Fletcher Dome in my last video. The farm over top of the Fletcher Dome kind of looks like an airplane actually, so I think I might build an airplane around it in one of my future videos just for a look. It'll kind of look like it's bombing the Fletcher Dome with tripwire hooks. The farm, or I guess the barn and the silos and all of this is just looking super good. I'll turn it to daytime so that I can show off the windmill. Here's the windmill in the daytime. I really like how it turned out. This was a tutorial. Once again, just look up windmill tutorial. It'll come up. That wasn't our design. But the barn and the silos, all of that was me and Christina's original design. If you liked this video, please subscribe. It took hours and hours. I'm going to try to post more shorts, more videos. I'm going to try to make this channel into something I'm super proud of. But if you want to be a part of that, please support me. It's a process, but I love it. So until the next video comes out, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.